I did not mute my computer. I should probably mute my computer. Make a noise. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I'm just gonna ramble a little bit before we jump into the video. But today I woke up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. I had to take my fiance to the train station to go to work, but I could not tell you the last time I woke up at 6 a.m. Especially for not like a crazy good reason, like I gotta go to the hospital or the doctor's appointment, but 6 a.m. people, just different breed. I did morning meditation. I don't do morning meditation, so I like sat there, I put on my headphones, and I just listened to some lady talk about how awesome I am. And so that was good. And so I got ready for the day pretty early, and so I'm filming a lot earlier than I normally do. And it's great, but yeah, I wanted to do something different today. I am in a silly, goofy mood, and I just want to start out my week on a better note. It's been a stressful couple weeks, to be honest, so we're just gonna do something different and something I've been wanting to do. This is my shirt today. I love the sun. El Sol. El Sol. My dog is snoring and dreaming. She was also up at 6 a.m. and she did not like that. Today, we're going to be doing one of my favorites, because I've had so many bad experiences with dates. Yep, dates. Worst dates story times. So that's why I got pulled up on Reddit. I'm just going to be going through them. I'm hoping these stories are okay. I haven't read any of them beforehand. But of course I'll edit the video, and if I'm reading one that's not good, we snipped right out. So, soft speaking, still ASMR, but I think we're gonna have a couple laughs, maybe a couple like, what the actual hell is going on here? My dog is having a panic attack. Hold on. So I'm gonna be reading from my computer because I'm filming on my phone. I hope y'all don't mind. I'll probably be reading from my phone next time, but since I don't have an extra filming device, this is what we're working with. Yeah. Okay, so I went on a date with a girl from OkCupid. It was late-ish, about 9 p.m., and she sent me a message out of the blue. We talked for a while, and she wanted to meet up with food. I hadn't had dinner yet, so I agreed. We were to meet up at a local diner. Her profile picture was reasonable. Not my typical type, but not awful. What showed up, however, was not great. She was about 5'2", and somewhere between 190 to 210 pounds. We don't like fat shaming. Okay, cut that out. That would have been fine if she wasn't toadish. I'm trying to be nice here. That would have been okay, but it wasn't just her. She had brought her friend along, a 16-year-old. I was 22. She was 20. To compound that, her friend had brought her toddler along. Oh, and her friend brought another friend. So here I am with 3 girls and a toddler that I didn't know. All 3 of the girls had brought Monster Energy into the restaurant with them. We sat down at the table and it just went all downhill from there. The toddler ran around and out of juice in her sippy cup, so the mom filled it with Monster. She then let the toddler play with the sugar container, one of the shaker style ones, big cylinder with the flappy thing. She promptly poured sugar all over the table and started licking it up. Meanwhile, all the girls are laughing at the toddler and having a great time. They're talking amongst each other and not even attempting to include me in the conversation. After 5 minutes of them ignoring me, they started talking about guys from high school. Long story short, I have a chicken sandwich, excused myself, apologized to the hostess/waitress for the mess and the awful people. left at 50 and got the hell out. Wow. That, for that being just the first one, that's crazy. Because if you're on a date and you're bringing other people along to the date, you should not be on a date because you are not mature enough to go on a date. Just gonna put that out there. So that was a good start. Let's jump into the next one. I was really young, probably about 15 or so. I was boy crazy. I had a crush on every guy who even remotely expressed an interest in me. But this guy, there are no words to describe this guy. His name was Jesse. We met through a mutual friend. And while he wasn't exactly my type, he told me he thought I was pretty, and so I wanted to give him a chance. A couple weeks later, we decided to meet up at the mall for our first official date. He was very sweet. We were holding hands, you know, typical teenage shit. But then he got weird. Very weird. We were sitting on this bench, and he turns to me and stares at me right in the eyes and says, "Wow, when I look at you, and I look into your eyes, I feel like I'm looking into your soul." Okay, I'm 15 and desperate for any epic love story, so I just smiled. He goes on, "I know this may seem soon, but I think you might be my soulmate. I can't wait until the day we get married and have babies and live together. We're going to have such an amazing life together." So let me recap. I'm 15, I'm on my first date, and my date just essentially proposed to me. I noped the frick out of there and never talked to him again. And then like the bottom, it's like, "Hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but you're my soulmate, please have my babies." Yeah, that is absolutely terrifying. 15 years old? You're 15 years old. Goodbye. I'm also going to try to link these stories, at least the thread below. I don't know how these videos work. I hope I don't get any type of copyright issue. I think Reddit, you're able to just read stories and it's not a problem, so YouTube, we got a mutual understanding there. Okay. Anyway, next story. He was more than 3 hours late and was texting me telling me that he was 20 minutes away for 2 of those hours. Sweetie, what? What? No. I would have been back in my car, back home, in bed at that point. Absolutely not. As soon as he arrived, he tried to tell me to leave the part of the venue / dive bar I'd already paid in to so we could go where he wanted, try to start a fight with a friend I'd happened to run into, and called my aunt, who'd talked me into going out with him in the first place, a blank blocking bish. What? I just walked away from him after that last one, and we never spoke again. I waited so long because I liked the bands that were playing. Okay. I wouldn't have stayed if I was sitting around with nothing to do. He got there just before the last band finished, but I'd have about enough of him by then because he'd be telling me that he was on the train in the same place for 2 hours. We don't live out in the middle of nowhere, and he could have easily gotten a bus the rest of the way in the time if there was a problem with the train. He never gave me a proper excuse, but I really didn't care at that point. Well, there you go. I have a rule. If you're 5 minutes late, okay. If you're 10 minutes late, you're kind of getting on my nerves. If you're any more than about 20 minutes late, we can reschedule. Unless you have like a wonderful, perfect, like normal reason or excuse. I went on an online date with this guy when I first moved home from college. We met up, and I have a habit of telling my parents, I'm going out, I'll be back later, without specifics. Anyway, this time she says, just be careful, and if you can't drive, get out of the car. We were en route to our first destination, and it was closed. So he asked me where I wanted to go, and I said, Hooters and bowling. I know, keep it classy, right? His driving was so reckless. I mean, really bad. Anyway, we ended up going across town because he wanted to take me to this one place. By this time, I've determined I'm not into him, and I want out. So I just go along with it. Maybe we can be friends, right? His brakes give out, and we end up having an accident. We ran into the back of a truck pretty hard, and I jerk forward, glasses flying off. After the smoke settles, when I'm nervous, I start laughing. He asks if I'm okay. I said sure, and I'm looking for my glasses, and he goes, oh, this is bad, really bad. So I said, why? No insurance? He says, no, I have a warrant for my arrest. He gets out of the car and runs. As he's running into the sunset, he's yelling back at me, I'm really sorry, I can't afford to go to jail again. The person we hit leaves, so I'm the only one there and the police show up. I had to call my parents to come pick me up because I have no friends in the area, and of course, I give the cops his info. I knew I wasn't going to talk to him again. The police gave me a ride to the gas station across the street as I was waiting for someone to pick me up. I leaned back, took a picture in the cop car, posted it on Facebook, and tagged him in the picture. Somewhere in between the running, he found time to get on Facebook and block me. Bad part about not just the accident, I didn't even get a chance to enjoy Hooters and wings. Holy poop, dude. That's insane. He has a warrant for his... Was it his car? It was his car. They obviously tracked him down, and that was the end of that. Okay, so we're gonna be reading one last story. This one's pretty long, so I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but hopefully this one is a good one to end on. Okay, let's go. All these happened also like 8 years ago. I don't know if I had this set to a weird thing, but these are still crazy. And they're not really like Tinder or Bumble dates, which is crazy to me. I have to do an updated one next time, but these are still really good. Okay. Oh, something in my eye. Happened to my cousin, not me, my cousin. And I will tell this story till I die. Her and I lived together at the time. She worked at a tanning salon. She mentions this guy, Vaughn, that started coming in. And he's really hot and always flirts with her. So I guess 2 weeks after back and forth flirting, Vaughn asks her out on a date. She comes home, gets all prettied up. I wish her luck, tell her to please call me if she decides to stay over so I know she's okay. She's a few years younger than me, and I have no idea who this guy is. Anyway, she ends up calling me about 5 hours later, hysterical, bawling her eyes out. I can't understand a word. All I can make out is, I'm at the hospital, my car is at blah 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 address. Please go get it, then come pick me up. So, my boyfriend and I go get her car. We drop it off at our house. Then my boyfriend decides to pick up a couple buddies of his along the way because it sounds like someone needed an ass kicking. We had no idea what was going on. We get to the hospital and she's outside, shivering. A man is standing near her, but not beside her. He looks worried, and she looks like hell. She jumps in the car and screams, just drive. Me being mad as heck, say to the guy, are you Vaughn? He looks like he's going to cry at any second. He says, yes, please don't be mad. I brought her here, I had to. She didn't want me to, please let me explain. My cousin is in absolute hysterics at this point, punching the back of my seat. please go. I said, I don't have time to listen to you. She wants to go home. I need to take care of her. We drive home. I keep asking, what the heck happened? Please tell me now. Did he hurt you? Do we need to call the cops? Her response is, no, please, nothing like that. I will tell you at home, not in front of other people. So I left it at that. Dying inside to know. We get home. I tuck her in bed. Give her some tea, try to calm her down. Every time she tries to start explaining, she buries her face and cries. Finally, I get it out of her. After she left our house, she met him at his house. They talked and had a coffee. He asks what she would like to do. She suggests a movie. He said, okay, let's go to Blockbuster. They go to Blockbuster. This is where it all starts. They pick up the movie and head to the cashier. She says she doesn't feel good, so she remembers waking up on the floor. Vaughn told her she passed out and hit her head pretty hard on the counter. She said he was begging her to go to the hospital right then and there. She said, no, I'll be fine. Let's just go and watch the movie. He agrees. They get back to his place. He keeps asking if she's all right, if she could please change her mind and go to the hospital. She says no over and over. She said she doesn't remember falling asleep, but she guessed that's what happened, because suddenly wakes up urgently and needs to crap and vomit. She has no idea the layout of this guy's house, so she scrambles to the floor, feeling dizzy again, starts crawling, literally, asking where the washroom is. He tries picking her up to take her, but she said she couldn't hold it back. Oh no. Throws up all over his floor, all over him, poops her pants. She starts crying. She said he was so concerned he didn't even care. He just took her to the bathroom to finish. While they make it to the bathroom, she said she pulls her pants down before she makes it to the toilet and poops like a parrot all over the walls. He gently closes the door and says, pass me your clothes, and he has something for her to wear. I'm crying. She agrees and does so. She said she stopped vomiting and pooping, and finally agreed to go to the hospital. He takes her, and then shortly after I got the call, while she's telling me this, I'm laughing so hard, crying, rubbing her head, and wondering if this was all a joke. No, because they ended up getting married, and we bring this up once a year. Stop. That is like, I'm crying from laughing, and that's so sweet. What a happy ending. Because you know what? A lot of you know I have stomach problems, and when I met my fiance, I was so nervous about having this be like a problem in our relationship because of the things that I need to do sometimes or can't do. And I think it was the first time that I ever like really got sick or feeling, you know, dizzy or having to use the bathroom really bad. I knew he was the one because he helped me and because he did not leave my side, and it was not as crazy as this, but you know they're the one when they help you while you're pooping your pants and vomiting. Two worst things you can possibly do on someone. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I know this is different. I know that it might not be that like relaxing or ASMR worthy, but I just wanted to read some stories and get a few chuckles here and there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and you got to have a blast as well. Until next time,